And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob. I am he, your out here to tell you a story. And how's it kicking, kids? And why is the sky silver? And whenever we breathe that in, why do purple unicorns come out our butt? What's going on? I think we need to hear from our favorite black man.
If any white man in the world says, give me liberty or give me death, the entire white world applauds. But a black man says exactly the same thing. He is judged a criminal and treated like one, and everything possible is done to make an example of this bad nigga so they won't be more like him.
The story of the Negro in America is the story of America. It is not a pretty story.
So many Americans I've ever encountered surely have nothing whatever against Negroes. That's really not the question. Really kind of apathy and ignorance. You don't know what's happening on the other side of the wall because you don't want to know.
In America, I was free only in battle, never free to rest.
We need to take action. Any kind of action. By any means necessary. They need to speak to Cotton. And now they don't need us anymore. Now they don't need us, they're going to kill us all off. There are days when you wonder what your role is in this country, what your future is in it. I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. The question you got to ask yourself, the white population of this country has got to ask itself, is why it was necessary to have a nigger in the first place. Because I'm not a nigger. I'm a man. If you think I'm a nigger, meet you need it. And you got to find out why. And the future of the country depends on that.
Well, I don't know if you know it or not, Joe Q, white guy watching this show, but you're an African American and you don't know it. That N word really pertains to you because that N word means a stupid person, not a black person, a stupid person, right? And if you were to go to the District of Columbia, D.C., Washington, D.C., you would realize, or once you start looking at all those buildings and then you read about them, that was all made by black people. And after the Civil War, when Reconstruction was occurring, one of the only places educated black folks get a job was in D.C. in the bureaucracy, right? And so they did, and it wasn't until Woodrow Wilson, who came from Virginia, Stanton, Virginia, that he's the guy who started it. I mean, the Ku Klux Klan always was there, but he institutionalized it into our government, right? He basically put Jim Crow. He took your tax dollars and put all those statues of all the heroes of the failed rebellion. And, those things weren't put up right after the Civil War. The first movie ever showed in the White House was, that nice little story about the Ku Klux Klan, all of that. Something of the nation, right? Anyway, the real deal is racism, sexism, gender dysmorphia, all of these things in the environmental. I mean, why is the sky silver? I wake up early in the morning before the sun comes up. That's when the stars are the brightest, right? As I live in the the Sawtooth Mountain accordion range between the Appalachian and the Blue Ridge Mountains, right? And I'm between Kingsport and Asheville, North Carolina. And I am in the most paranormal place in the friggin' universe. And that was one reason why the cockroaches didn't show up. I mean, they destroyed Banner Elk. The mob came in with $40 million, bought up everything, and turned it into Angelo Land, And places like Boone and Asheville and Johnson City and Jonesburg and you name it, all within 90-mile circumference. If you were to stick a protractor in Asheville and zip a 90-mile circle around it, it would go from Oak Ridge, Tennessee to Tech in Virginia to Asheville over here at Triangle. And there are these ley lines that are amazing. What's quite interesting, if you ever see chemtrails in the sky, one day you wake up, you look up in the sky, and it looks like a herringbone pattern, not just one line across the sky. Oh, like just a commercial aircraft. No. It's like zing, 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 all these X's, right? Really? Yeah. I guess the commercial airlines are just flying around in circles, right? They're playing tic-tac-toe up there, right? So they're spraying a very fine particulate into the sky, right? And back, in the Greek times, and then again during the times of, the Dark Ages, and then the Renaissance, Galileo and those guys, or that period, all of those different periods. Mystery schools understood that there were eons between, social dynamics of the human experience, right? They realized the human experience that wasn't, your life. It's a moment of your life, right? And we're distracted, by the silver sky. So we aren't realizing who and what we are in that moment. And who and what we are in that moment is that we are a slave to unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. And if you're not, then you're just a cockroach, right? And that's dissing cockroaches. Anyway, let's see what else is in the magic box.
News and Joy Hassel says a collapse of Texas's overstrained electrical grid right now would lead to widespread deaths.
The Texas grid appears to be very vulnerable to a heat event like this because it doesn't have the capacity to bring in power from other places. And this heat dome is really expanding. They say 50 million people are already exposed to dangerous heat by this heat dome.
A Russian missile attack on the eastern Ukrainian city of Kramatorsk has killed at least 9 civilians, including 3 children. Tuesday evening's attack on a crowded pizzeria just after 8 p.m. local time left dozens more injured. This is Valentina, a 6 assault.
I ran here after the explosion. I run a cafe nearby. Everything has been blown up here. There is nothing, no window.
And Scott Ritter told me personally that the missile there, the Russians did it because there was an existential fear of that pizzeria, right? And that's why the Russians attacked it. It's very similar to Pizzagate in America, right? And soon white supremacists will be using their own cruise missiles to take out the Nazis in America. You know, Walmarts will not replace us. You know. So, what do you guys say? How about a comment? So I had a tasty breakfast, a nice sausage, egg and cheese sandwich, potatoes, and coffee. Anyway, boo, 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 boo. So I got trimmed out my little sweetie. She was complaining that kissing me was like kissing a scrub brush, but she liked it, especially as she always would say, "You're the best lesbian I know." That's me. You know? I'm a lesbian. I'm an African American. That's lesbian. You know, I'm a lesbian. A lesbian, and my species. I'm a goldfish. You know, can't you tell by my colors? Da 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 da. Ooh. Oh, let's see. See what else is going on. Bing, bing, ding, ding, ding. Oh, there I am. What's that? Videos? What do you think? What do you think? 18 people watched that one. 4 thumbs up, though. Can you believe it? 34 watched that. 4 thumbs up. Some yummies with Miss K. 14. 2 thumbs up. Somebody actually. What were the comments? Let's see. Just like listening to Jordan Maxwell. Have you met him? Yep, I met him.
Here I am. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Speaking to you loudly, Lord. Let's say, Mom, you gotta have another breakfast.
Yeah, Jordan Maxwell. Back in the day of the New Age, back in the late 60s, 70s, and mid 80s, I was involved in a lot of esoteric, occult technology, and what was known as the New Age, right? I was a New Age Times, a buddy of mine published, and he had a New Age Expo, usually in the big hotel that's right across from Penn Station. And they have a really gigantic ballroom that can fit 30,000 people and has mezzanine after mezzanine after mezzanine. And so it's really a great spot to have, like, what do you call those things when a bunch of people try to sell you stuff and they have tables and whatever, like conferences or conventions, something like that. They used to have the Star Trek conventions, and that was a load of fun. We got 40,000 Trekkies that were right across from Penn Station, so they could come from almost any place and just walk across 8th Avenue and go in that hotel. Penta Hotel is what it's called. So anyway, that's why I met my second wife at the New Age Expo. I was when I had a video production company. We used to do what were known as industrials, which were like training films. What do you call those things when you make a movie? Not like entertainment, but they can be entertaining, but they're more like tell you a story, whatever they call those things. Anyway, so that was when I was a filmmaker, and I did that. And at our height, we actually had 8 people working, and it was it's an offshoot of Potato Wolf on Manhattan TV. Manhattan cable. See, I cut my beard so you can tell that I have no teeth. I'm just a dummy. Because I couldn't afford dental care, so I just ripped all my teeth out. And you can actually, it's starting to grow back. You know, my gums have come up and almost don't quite make it. So I can't bite things off. I can't eat, corn on the cob. Can't eat steak, right from the grill. If I take steak right from the grill and throw it in the blender, yeah, I can drink it. But pretty much everything else I can chew up. And it basically enables me to eat way slower, lose weight, and digest my food better because I take a chunk of my sandwich, put it in my mouth, and kind of gum it, and then just kind of let all up. Because the real thing that breaks down your food is the enzyme in your saliva. So when you kind of chew it up with your teeth and you swallow it right away, like a dog, the food, the food has to start being digested here in your mouth, not down in your gut. Right? So when I took my teeth out, I used to have acid reflux because I used to, and I was also 280 pounds overweight. You gotta start with that. And why I have to go to the doctor so often, and because I'm, as my endocrinologist say, I'm the healthiest dead guy he knows. So we're always right on the edge. And God gave me the great gift, being right on the edge. Right? So that's the story. So, the world has always been as weird as it is today. It's no weirder, right? And aliens, landed. They've been here as long as we have. We're like their offspring, right? And why I don't like using the word God is because you take it back to Sumerian and it means God, which means, Baal, which means the God of gold, right? The golden rule, who has the gold rules? I mean, that's where this all got started. It's materialism. We don't have capitalism. It'd be nice if we did. Then people would be, the industries would be competing. We'd have a lot more. I mean, we've had times when we almost did, like in the 50s. But, we had other things. We had severe racism. I mean, we have severe racism now. But see, it's getting to the point. See, back in the 50s, the corporate structure, Hail Hydra, basically said to the general public, listen, you're white. Yeah, we treat you like crap, but if you're a black person of color or just off the boat, we treat you even worse. You're almost in the club. Never going to be, but you're almost in the club. So, good luck with that, kids. And people who go to churches are fine because they're your community. And if you can relate, I go to 3 different churches, right? 3 different flavors. And there are 4 others that I visit. Right? But, everyone kind of knows me. I've been here 20 years, so they kind of know me. And there's only one of me, so everyone goes, well, he is kind of strange. But, I mean, they used to call me the crazy old man. And this is 20 years ago when I wasn't an old man. I was in my 50s. I wasn't gray, Like Gandalf. Gandalf the Gray, that's me now. But see, I'm turning to Gandalf the White. And, there are all these old guys, I wish I had a woman. Well, man, no woman is going to want you because you're such a jerk. You're boring, stupid, don't read any books, don't have any all you do is regurgitate someone else's, opinion, right? So, me, I do read books. I look at everything. And I put out, just, the first 20 minutes of this thing, I hit on about 20 different things that people go, what did he say? You know, what was that? You know, raise a few eyebrows all the freaking time. But when I meet up with people, my interaction with people, it's about that, not me. It's about love's co-creation, the we and me, right? I'm all about that. Yesterday I was in a really super, I mean, these people have nothing but smack to say about everybody. And I know everybody, so I mention this person, and they go, oh, I can't stand that person. I said, what? I said, they're nice people. They help others. Now, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? It's all about me. I don't have to. And I read their palm, and I tell them things that, you know, they have never shared with anybody. And here's me. They don't even know me from a hole in the ground, and I'm telling them about who they did and what they did as a teenager and why they're so embarrassed about themselves, why they feel miserable about themselves. So that's why they feel miserable about everybody else. They don't let God into their. I go to church, you know, 3 times a year. You know, that's good enough for God. You have to be in church 24/7. You have to be a slave to God's unconditional love. Because without God's unconditional love, we are toast. You know, and Jesus didn't go anywhere. If Jesus had left the building, we'd be gone. Because it's Jesus' unconditional forgiveness that keeps us animated. You know, otherwise, God, you know, why do those guys in Sodom and Gomorrah turn into salt? God didn't turn them into salt. No, they were fornicating. Fornicating ain't this, you know. Fornicating, when you take it through Greek into the Sumerian, you know, past Babylonian, into further Sumerian, and Sumar, you find that fornication means disconnecting from God's love, meaning putting yourself first. You can't realize it. God is all there is, you know. God's love is all there is. That's what brought us up. So, and the Bible is a tool. It's not a law book, right? And that's how the Hebrew nation looked at it. That's why the Torah is in a scroll, so they can roll it out. That's why the guy has got this super kind of Superman outfit with a block of wood on his head, because he can lean up against it, and that block of wood gives the exact measurement of where you can read each letter and see the algorithm of each letter, right? You know, and that's, you know, when Jesus rode into Jerusalem, and everyone was promoting him as the savior, you know, the king. Here he is. We've been looking for this guy, and everyone's got it, and all the, you know, the rabbis and the bankers were all going, well, he's going to be our poster boy. Yeah. Hey, Jesus, let's have lunch on Tuesday. He shows up, finds some money, changes in there, throws them out. We go, whoop, we got to get rid of this guy. He's bad for business. And that's what happened. So, but, you know, the thing about Jesus, he knew all of this, right? Now, we are all Jesus. We are all God. But we're such puddinheads. We don't know. We don't realize it's the we in me. And the me is God's unconditional love, right? The one we're always talking about. Well, I'm such a good Christian. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jesus. You know? And when people say, praise God, praise Jesus, praise God, praise Jesus, that's good. You should praise God, praise Jesus. But, see, you're not getting into heaven by your actions. You know that whole story about a rich guy and the guy that Jesus kept, you know, bringing back Lazarus back from the dead. And, you know, the final time he went home, he died. He finally got through the gates, and Peter said, good boy, Lazarus, good to see you. And Lazarus, you know, he died so many times. And, you know, even though he was brought back, he still was smelling from his body rotting. You know, his spirit came back and animated his dead body. It's like Pinocchio with strings. And that's what that whole story about Pinocchio is about. You know, I just want to be a boy. You know, Lazarus just wanted to, you know, either have a new body, starts, you know, oh boy. Now, me, I haven't taken a shower in 4 years. Do I smell? No. But I'm very conscious about my connection to the Father, which is God's unconditional love going through me. I serve, not serve. I am slave to love's co-creation. That's it. I'm not a servant. I don't bring pizza on a plate. No. The lady who brought she's a servant. She serves. She's a server, right? Not me. I'm a slave, right? And I am blessed to be a slave, right? Because most people can't even get those words. I keep telling everyone, you're a slave to Jesus. But I serve Jesus. I serve Jesus. Cookie and tea, you bring it to him. That's nice. Now, I know I'm a moron. I know I have no idea what's going on. No, I'm well trained. I am an itinerant scholar. I've had the most amazing mentors in scholarship, theology, philosophy. That's why I'm a shamanic psychosocial cultural forensic anthropologic alchemist, right? That's my toolbox. If you talk to any healer, they have a toolbox. Like the doctor, he has his little black bag. That's his toolbox, right? And they practice, right? And so these people I was talking to, I was telling them the story, and they were like, because I said, what do you do? I said, everything. And this one person was like, really, what you try to say, can't. I said, no. And they were in their little wheelchair. I said, but, how do you get from the wheelchair to the toilet? Well, I can get up and move around a little bit. I said, no. If you move around a lot more, you'll be able to move a lot more. So I kind of here, stand up, lean against his table, and I adjust them. I mean, they were like a pretzel, right? I just kind of stuck them into more alignment, and they got him up and had him start breathing, turned him around. I was in this big warehouse, and I said, okay, I'm going to walk over there. You walk to me. I can't do it. And I said, no. Have your buddy there on either side of you, walk you over to me. Don't let him hold you up. Just let him be by your side so if you fall over to catch you. No, he did. He walked right over, and I kind of pushed him into the right alignment, to the point that he walked over without, I don't have any pain anymore. What did you do? I said, I didn't do anything. God did everything. I was well trained, right? Yeah, I can, make you feel better. It's called kinesiology, right? I was trained to be an osteopath, and I was also trained in acupuncture, and I was also trained in Chinese herbs, and I was, and I practiced it at the, Fort Hamilton Veterinarians, VA, Veterans Administration, right? And my boss, he's the guy, Colonel, what's his name? He's the guy who put me through all that, which is fine. I mean, he put me on a path that I was just a bedpan guy. He walked in one day. I knew who he was, but I never talked to him. He was head of the whole hospital. He was a surgeon, right? He was like 80 years old. He was, a hero from World War II, from Korea, Vietnam. He had served in all those things and many other things. And he walked straight up to me and said, Al, come over here. Yes, sir. My dad was a colonel. I knew, yes, sir. And I stood up, had attention, but at ease, at rest attention, that's what they call it, And he's looking at me, smiling. I said, yes, sir. He goes, Al, I've been watching. Have I done anything wrong? He goes, no. It's the other side. You've done everything wrong. And everyone's, because you are a person non grata here, no one has told you what to do or how to do it or what, and they just they don't expect you to be here very much longer, right? So you're going to be my protege. I said, Colonel, I don't know. You're a surgeon and you run this place, and I'm just a freak. Which I had really long hair. and really long beard, right? And I rode a motorcycle, and I wore mirror sunglasses and cowboy boots all the time. And so Tony Robbins, and he goes, no, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a freak. You have no preconceived notions about anything. You live in the moment. You know, I see how you deal with all these guys. You are the guy they need. You listen to them. You tell them something funny. This is the first time they've laughed in like the last 6 months after getting blown up in Vietnam. And then you listen to their story. And then you help them. You know, you do things that everyone's too embarrassed to help them with, like wiping their asshole. Instead of like just giving them, you know, putting diapers on them, and let them be a human being. But if they do have diapers on, you know, I don't make a big deal about it. I don't make a big deal about anything. Don't make a big deal that they're missing their arms and their legs, and they need to, you know, and I don't call it help. That's there to help them move forward. So that's oh look, 31. So, so did I? What can I say? Well, you know, this is supposed to be a chat. We're supposed to interact. So anyway, that's the story. And you know, if I don't have anything good to say about somebody, I don't say anything. And then when people start talking smack about each other, I reiterate that tale, right? And I said, so you're a Christian? Oh yes, I'm a Christian. I go to church 3 times a year. Say, do you read the Bible? I love the Bible. I said, what part of the Bible? Yeah, I love it. I love the Bible. Anyway, and then I asked them a few questions about this, that, and the other thing, and they don't know anything. You know who Esther is? Esther? Who? Anyway, so that's the real question. What are you going to do with your life, right? And why is the sky silver when it's supposed to be blue? And how can smoke from 3,000 miles away get here? Especially when the wind is blowing predominantly from west, east to north, you know, northeast. You know? Whereas the smoke's coming from the north, east, it should be being blown away, but it's not. I wonder why. You know why? Because this smoke isn't smoke. That's why. The smoke isn't coming from Canada. My message is spam. Let's talk to Johnny Boy and see what he's up to.
The person you have dialed is not able to receive calls at this time.
Boy, that's pretty abrupt. Do. Where's keep cool? Hotter.
Oh yeah, you can see me on television. Oh no. But are you ready? By the way, the hamburger comes with lettuce, tomato,
Today's
onion.
Wednesday.
Same thing, just with cheese. You want all that on there? But you want the cheese, double cheese? You want fries? Okay, are you good with the That's it?
Hey, Tom. Yeah, all you guys down in Texas. 2 years ago, your all our utilities no longer are public. They're owned by corporations. Mostly Mr. Rothschild owns all our utilities. Right? So last 2 winters ago, Texas had the coldest winter they had ever. At least when they had gas and electricity, maybe back before gas and electricity, they had colder winter. So no, I wasn't there. But 2 winters ago, it was so cold they came that close from scramming all of their utilities, having the whole system like burn up and die, and not have any electricity ever again until they redo the whole system. Right? Well, they just turned it off. It's like when your computer screws up and you reboot, they just kind of shed the load and then only turn things back on who were important to Mr. Rothschild. Right? But the rest of poor Texas, it was like 70 degrees below zero, and especially in South Texas, along with the Gulf of Mexico, and they never had that kind of cold ever and had no electricity. Oops. What's wrong with this picture? And lots of people died and froze to death in their homes, and a lot more than that was advertised. And anyway, so so they had a big state, investigation, blah blah blah. So they did, and they got people who kind of knew what they were talking about. They said, well, the real problem is Mr. Rothschild and the way he bought his whole utility 30 years ago using taxpayers' money to pay for it, and he owns it, and he hasn't done a lick of modernization or fixing anything. But everything is band-aids. And so when this came, it stressed out the system so much that it nearly collapsed. So it needs to be blah, blah, blah. And they made a very nice little thing, and the state legislature said sure, and they did nothing. And they spent the money they were going to spend on that about in administering, getting rid of abortion and rid of woke education and getting rid of cancel culture, all of that, and all the money that they had budgeted for fixing the utility, to all that good stuff, right? All that really good stuff that's important. But now that it's, let's see, more people die. You say, what weather event kills more human beings? Tornadoes, hurricanes, floods? No. Heat. Right now, Texas is going through one of its worst, if not the worst. It's like 125 degrees across Texas, South Texas. Wow, it's even hotter. And they're shedding the juice, and they're turning people's air conditioning and the fan and the lights off. And late at night, it's 125, and the lights don't even work. Good luck with that, kids. I'm glad you really have it nailed down about transgenderism and wokeism and cancel culture. Those are the important ones. Really are. Really, whether you burn up, they're not so important. The rich people have air conditioning. Their utilities work. You poor white folk, not so much. Good luck with that. Have a nice day. This smile on my face is what is known as Freudenscheiter. Look that one up. This is why I didn't have any kids. I knew this was going to happen back in 1968. No, 64, right? When Jack had gotten whacked, my parents had a big cocktail party, and all of the, so there was, General Curtis LeMay and General Groves and good old, what's his name? Werner von Braun. He was over in the corner, kind of drunk, and no one would listen to him. And he was telling the whole story about what was going to happen. I'm sitting right there going, yeah, really? I mean, if I could have taken notes, I would have. I had a tape recorder. Ooh, baby. But he was going on about how, Hail Hydra. He was, the Nazi, he said it was above the Nazis. I guess that was my next one. I played a little bit above Majestic. Oh, this is above the Nazis. And then he said, in the 30s, these folks who went down to Antarctica and found all these underground geothermic caves that you could put 1 million people in, did just that, right? And down there, they found some pretty interesting technology from other cultures way, like 1 million years ago. And then they turned on the TV set, and there was folks on another dimension where saying, "Oh, wait, we were waiting for you to turn this on. No, hey, you come from us, and so we're going to help you." And they did. German people, back in the Stone Age, Hail Hydra, kind of running the show. And go watch that thing. Above Majestic. Go watch Jordan Maxwell. And go back and watch more of my shows, right? So come on, put something in there. I hadn't given a pitch about my PayPal yet, so come on. Go something. It actually works. Somebody actually sent me some money just to show me that my PayPal works. So it works. Come on, you can do it. It'll be nice. I have to fix my car next month, and it'll be a choice between eating for 2 weeks and fixing my car. And not fixing my car, or not eating for 2 weeks and fixing my car. So, and back in the pandemic, they gave me $280 worth of food stamps. That was good, man. Now I have $68. Boy, you can buy a thing of bologna and some cream cheese and the local Wonder Bread, which I can't eat. So, anyway, I have things to do. I just was in a place that had Wi-Fi. Now the crowd is showing up, so I'm gonna skedaddle. So you stay well, be good. Hail Hydra. And remember, praise Jesus. You do.